for you.
Just shut up and read.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
My name's Ethan Healy. This is Detective Rambo.
Hi.
We're the investigators for this case. Okay. I don't know if you can hear all the whining and crying. That's Mr. Tyrone Brown talking about his sovereign citizenship in the other room. He's not very happy. Citizenship in the other room. He's not very happy. Citizenship. Talking about his sovereign citizenship in the other room. He's not very happy. He's lecturing us on all the legalities of this happy citizenship in the other room. Talking about Tyrone Brown. Talking about his sovereign citizenship in the other room. He's not very happy. He's lecturing. He's not very about his sovereign citizenship in the other room. He's not very happy. He's lecturing us on room. He's not very happy. He's lecturing us on all the legalities of this case. Tyrone?
O-T-Y?
Yes, T-Y. Yes. Yeah. Tyrone? All the legality. He's lecturing us on he's not very happy. Whining and crying. I don't know if you can hear all the whining and crying. That's Mr. Tyrone Brown talking about his sovereign citizenship in the other room.
So Tyrone Brown is locked up for a RICO case. And he's over here pulling out the sovereign citizenship doctrine. He said all this whining and crying, and he's lecturing us on the law. This is wild, man. This guy, he watched this video. Let me show you what video. Oh my God, where did it go? All right. Let me show you what Tyrone watched. Let me see, this is it right here. Let me show you what Tyrone watched from TikTok.
I don't go anywhere without this. This is my traffic book right here. And if you read down below, public servant officer, it pretty much says to him, when a cop pulls me over, you're losing potato chips. But when a cop pulls me over, the first thing I do is I ask him, what's your emergency and how may I assist you? And he's going to ask for my driver's license and insurance or whatever. And I said, well, before we go there, I need you to fill this out. And I take that sheet of paper out of there and hand it to him. Before we can go any further, you need to fill this out. Once he reads this, it already puts him on notice that I'm not playing games with him. I don't go.
All right, so Tyrone watched that. Okay, so let me go back to Bone Quisha though. So she don't look more than 25 years old. If she's 28, I'll fall out. She look about 25 years or younger. Her baby daddy is a kingpin. Now look how poised. I mean, I watched a lot of these interrogations. I show them a lot on my channel. I ain't never see a criminal this cool and calm with a damn near $1 million bond with a 1-year-old kid at home. Yo, this dog This dog felt like it was all worth it. All right, wait, I gotta show you. This dog right here. She felt like it was worth it. Like the whole ride, the whole journey was worth sacrificing her kid. All right. So look, now keep in mind, she's being interrogated, not to be an eyewitness of a crime that she's like, I'm not snitching, I'm going home. No, no, no. She's actually being charged as a co-conspirator. She's being charged in the RICO. Everything her kingpin boyfriend's being charged with, she's being charged with. Everything. Okay? Look how calm she is. She got a 1-year-old at home that her sister got to come get. Look at this dog. Yeah, this dude looked like a dude I played basketball with, but he says Florida. Oh, she's not crying. Yeah, she's not like an unsuspected. They got her. She knows why she's there. Okay. She's not here. Hey, we need you to snitch on your boyfriend. No, no, no. We need somebody to snitch on you. We need more stuff.
Ms. Williams,
Hello.
how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
My name's Ethan Healy, Detective Rambo.
Hi.
We're the investigators for this case. Okay. I don't know if you can hear all the whining and crying. That's Mr. Tyrone Brown.
It's like you about to say Tyrone Biggums, the Dave Chappelle character. Tyrone Brown, like that's way too close to this guy. That's Tyrone Biggums. When you say Tyrone Brown, like, yeah, that's a lot closer.
Whining and crying. That's Mr. Tyrone Brown. Talking about his sovereign citizenship in the other room. He's not very happy.
Tammy Thurman.
He's lecturing us on all the legalities of this case. Tyrone?
OTY?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Look, listen. She looked at the camera and she rolled his eyes, started smiling. Yo, I damn near choked myself. Ma'am. What Prophet Samuel be saying? Ma'am, you're being arrested and booked. You're not going home. They're not promising this woman, you'll see. They didn't promise her she'll go home. They told her, you're not going home. You're going from here to the county jail and you're going to wait trial unless you plead out. No, like the evidence we got on you, you're not going anywhere. And this woman with a 1-year-old kid at home, cross her arms, smiling, rolling her eyes. She think this, she don't think it is a game to her. And you can imagine what shows she watched. You could imagine what shows she watches. And you can imagine what shows she doesn't watch.
Tyrone?
OTY?
Look,
Yes, yes. Yeah. That guy's quite the character.
Are you serious? Yo, I could be faced with I could be interrogated by running a red light. I don't want that ticket. I'm trying to figure out how can we minimize this. I'm not smiling at a red light ticket. This woman is facing 100 years. Her bail is a little less than $1 million. And she has a 1-year-old and she's smiling, laughing. Ma'am, this is not a comedy show.
You don't have to tell me.
So, have you ever been arrested before?
No, sir.
All right, so let me just speed up a little bit for the sake of time. Oh, I had on slow. Goddamn.
Never been arrested?
No, sir.
Well, that's good.
How did you get here?
How did what?
How did you get here?
With Tyrone?
Yeah.
Been arrested?
Yeah, all right, I gotta slow it down. Yeah, her main concern is how Tyrone got there. You know why she asked that?
How did you get here?
How did what?
How did he get here?
With Tyrone?
Yeah.
Been arrested?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We arrested him, stupid. Yeah, we're gonna get him to talk against you and your kingpin boyfriend. how did he get? She wants to know who's snitching on her. How did he get here? What you mean how he got here? Are you delusional? Y'all all caught. Ain't none of y'all getting out of here.
So I'll explain. I just have to read your Miranda warnings first. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you as evidence in court. You have the right to talk to an attorney now or at any time during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney.
Now, I don't know if everybody read their Miranda rights. Do they? I'm not sure. An interrogation. Maybe. I think so. Yeah, that's why they get you downtown. I get it.
One will be appointed to you without cost. Has anyone threatened you?
I don't know. They read everybody Miranda rights because when they read that to you, you're basically under arrest. I don't know. I forgot. I gotta look into this. I forgot.
Or promised you anything in order to make you talk to me?
No.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Okay. So you and Mr. Jock have a child together?
Yes.
Right? Okay. How's your kid?
He's 1.
All right.
And half today.
Okay. This is a cute kid. We've seen you guys quite a few times.
Thank you.
Just to kind of give you a little bit of background.
Okay, so you see, I seen your kids. So basically, let know like y'all not slick. We've been watching y'all so much. I know that your kid is cute. Like we see y'all a lot. Okay.
We've been investigating this case for almost a year now. We know that
he's being straightforward. He's being straightforward because we got you. Okay. We just need you to tell some more stuff. We want a closed shut case without any defense. Matter of fact, we want a plea. We want a confession. You know, so they like, we've been on you guys. You guys ain't slick. You ain't get away. We caught you. We got a lot of evidence. We just want more. We know there's more. Okay. We seen a lot. We seen you had a lot. And we want that too. That's what they're doing right now. We want that too. And if you can make sure we get that, I'll make sure you don't serve 100 years like your kingpin baby daddy. You'll serve 30. He'll serve 100. Okay, so at least 30. You're 25. You be 55. You dig? Your kid be, maybe 30, and you could be a deadbeat mother.
your boyfriend is. Are you guys married?
No.
Okay. So we know your boyfriend is engaged or anything like that. Okay. We know that you guys have a kid together.
I thought so. I thought they read your Miranda rights when you're definitely getting in handcuffs. I thought so. It's like basically you're arrested. You don't always got to be in handcuffs, but it is like you're arrested.
We also know that Mr. Jock is a weed dealer. It is what it is. Weed's not that big a deal anymore. Nobody really gives a shit about weed. It's like alcohol almost. But here's the problem is that once you engage in the trafficking of cannabis, weed, within an organization, it becomes a serious crime. Okay? And that's what we're here to talk about. So everybody within that organization has been charged with RICO. You know what RICO is? Okay, so RICO it was created a long time ago.
You see, he's letting her know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't hear this from interrogation. Like, they don't inform you all this unless, like, we got you. So they're being straightforward with her because we got you. We have a lot of evidence. We just want more. Okay, because we know those things are still out there, whether it be drugs and guns. We know it's out there. We want that too. Okay, we've been tracking y'all. We know everything you guys got. We know what you guys went and bought. We know what you guys sold, and we just want what's in your possession now. So just tell us which trap house, so we go get it. Right? But trust me, they're never this transparent. They always make you feel like you're going to go home. Like, so a lot of times they talk to you like, nah, you're not involved. You're good. We just want you to tell us who is involved in those things. What do you know? And then when you start to like withhold evidence, then they'll low key like starting to, demonstrate that no, well, you're actually more involved than we said you were earlier. So you might want to talk. But straight from the back, this guy's informing her like, yo, you're not going nowhere.
Go to combat the mafia, organized crime, right? And it stands for Racketeering Influenced Corrupt Organization, all right?
Yeah, facts, Timmy. And this is why he's telling her this. He's telling her this. He's saying, listen, if you lure her up, you're going straight. We're going to book you. You're going to take a picture and you're going to county jail. Okay, and your bond is a little less than oh no. She's for the streets. She ain't for the streets. Women for the streets are you don't gotta be a deadbeat woman if you're for the streets. You just for the streets, like you just outside all the time. But I don't mean you're a deadbeat. Like your character might be in question, or your motherhood might be in question, but it don't mean you're a deadbeat person necessarily. You just outside. She ain't outside. She ain't for the streets. She's for the streets. I typed that right. She's for the streets.
That actually kind of
Matter of fact, when you hear Future say it, he gonna say she's for the streets. He ain't gonna say streets. Where everybody got that from, that quote, he say streets. Let me find it. Let me find it. Oh, she belongs to. All right. Here you go.
You identify my bitches with APs. She ain't got an AP, she is not mine.
You cold. He cold.
She belongs to the streets.
There you go. That was Young Thug. That was that criminal.
started in Florida, but it's also a federal crime now. This one that everybody's being charged with is a state crime, but it has the same penalties, okay, up to 30 years in prison.
Okay, so he's explaining to her the difference between what?
Right? Influence, corrupt is here to talk about cannabis, weed within an organization. It becomes a serious crime.
At least
okay?
he's
And that's what we're here to talk about. So everybody within that organization has been charged with RICO. You know what RICO is? Okay.
Everybody in that organization been charged with RICO. Okay, you're part of that organization. That's why you're here. All right, you're not the innocent snitch.
Okay, so RICO it was created a long time ago to combat the mafia, organized crime, right? And it stands for Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organization, all right? And it actually kind of started in Florida, but it's also a federal crime now. This one that everybody's being charged with is a state crime, but it has the same penalties, okay? Up to 30 years in prison, all right? So anybody that's involved within the organization that we get evidence on is charged with that crime, okay? And under that crime are lesser included crimes like trafficking of cannabis, unlawful transportation of U.S. currency, you name it, sale and delivery of cannabis, anything, just about any crime.
Nah, I can't play it straight through without getting flagged. If you see my account status, I'm like, it's that yellow, it's that warning. So yeah, so when you watch videos of people that playing something like this and they keep stopping and talking, I know it's annoying because I'd be annoyed, but I'm like, and then I realized when I got flagged, I said, oh, that's why they be stopping.
That is kind of under that also gets brought into it, okay? So that's what we're here to talk about. Mr. Brown is charged with RICO. Mr. Jock is charged with RICO. Mr. Jock has the most charges, obviously being kind of the main guy, all right? His bond is $1.25 million. Your bond is just under $1 million, okay, for your charges, because your charges are also RICO, all right?
Told you. He's not playing with her. He's not acting like she's innocent and we need you to snitch. We need more information on your boyfriend. Her charges is so, I mean, she's number two. So the way she's charged, they got her as number two. They got her very much involved, as much as the husband, not the husband, the baby daddy, but he's the main guy. Like he set it all up, you know, so they know that. But she's number two. That's why her bond is a little less than his. She's at 800. He said around 800,000.
My charges are RICO?
Yes, ma'am. All right. So when you
My charges are RICO? Yes, ma'am. You know what you did? We got you on camera when he was away. You were the person making the phone calls, making sure, yelling at folks, threatening folks. You were the one handing that package to that person over here. You were making those drop offs. You were second in charge while your man was away. The hell, yeah. How do you think this is?
You
But don't forget, he established earlier that that's like a 30-year sentence, up to 30 years.
get involved in an organization, whether it's at a lower level, whether it's as an assisting knowledge of.
Being his girlfriend and being involved?
Well, we have a little bit more evidence than you just being his girlfriend. Okay.
Would you be able to tell me what that is?
I can tell you about some of it. Okay.
Okay, so you heard her. I'm just being his girlfriend. I'm involved. No, man, we got you. I know you thought you can say that. I know he told you that you can say, hey, I'm not involved. I'm just his girlfriend. I know you believe that.
Whether it's at a lower level, whether it's as an assisting knowledge of.
Being his girlfriend and being involved?
Well, we have a little bit more evidence than you just being his girlfriend. Okay.
Would you be able to tell me what that is?
I can tell you about some of it. Okay. So in any case, we do, and in cases like this, we do a lot of evidence gathering. Okay. This is just the affidavit right here for this case. An affidavit is basically my narrative about everything that we have seen, all the evidence that we have collected, everything that we have done and heard goes into here. And the affidavit is it's the charging affidavit for the case, right? So when you go to, when you get arrested, you go to court, this is like when they say, okay, the prosecutor comes in and they're like, all right, well, here's the evidence that we have. And there's going to be a ton more evidence because we've gathered all kinds of stuff, right? So we've got pictures and video and all kinds of stuff. For example, when was the traffic stop? It was May 4th. May 4th, you guys got stopped by FHP heading down towards West Palm, right?
So I showed those videos too. I showed those videos when those expert agents pull over people for drug trafficking. So they actually got pulled over. Okay, so here's the problem with people that drug traffic, that go out there and do it themselves and do it often. Listen, you might have got away once and you made 30,000 or whatever you made, 10,000. But if you plan on making this your career, you're going to get stopped. That's almost inevitable. They're going to finally pull your car over. Okay? And then you're done. Because as I showed in those videos, they don't let you go. They wait for the silliest excuse to call those dogs. And they already profiled you from the beginning. Like, they are trained to spot cars that are most likely trafficking and, car behavior, cars driving, not behavior, but the way cars move and hide behind tractor trailers. You're bound to get caught. If you guys want to go that path, then you might want to try it one time because you're bound to get caught. And that one time you get caught, 30 years.
That was us. That was us telling FHP, hey, down towards May 4th, you guys got stopped by FHP.
You guys got stopped. That means you were in the car too, ma'am.
Heading down towards West Palm, right? That was us. That was us telling FHP, hey, this camo Corvette, we need it stopped. We know it's got a bunch of cash in it. And they stop it, and lo and behold, we find $200,000 in cash, right? That is a crime. That's unlawful transportation of U.S. currency.
So they got caught with trafficking the money, not the drugs. That's a whole different charge. Let me hear that one time.
$1,000 in cash, right? That is a crime.
$200,000 in cash.
That's unlawful transportation of U.S. currency. Because
unlawful transportation of U.S. currency.
That currency is not lawful. It's not being used for anything lawful. It's being used to go to California to buy a bunch of weed to bring back to Florida, right? We know these things, okay? So you're in the vehicle with your boyfriend. You guys have suitcases, carry-on, stuff like that. That's all full of cash. That just one example. That is one crime that you get charged with. It's called unlawful transportation of U.S. currency.
That's one crime. That may be 10 years. But keep in mind, she looked half decent, and there's a lot of guys at Walmart. I'm sure hollered at her. There's a lot of guys that work for Snipes. I'm sure hollered at her. Decent working, tax-paying guys paying their bills. They don't earn $100,000 a year, but they hardworking and they'll take care of their kids and they'll take care of her the best they can. But somehow those guys stay single, while the kingpins always got a girlfriend or two or three.
Currency over $100,000. So over $100,000 is a first-degree felony, all right? And for somebody that's never been arrested like you, which is great, I kind of have to explain, like with Mr. Jock, I don't have to explain what a first-degree felony is because he's a convicted felon. He knows, he understands that game, right?
So she went and dated a convicted felon, but you know, that's what he say, man. The stereotype that they either date the top or the bottom. They don't want nobody average, nobody in the middle, nobody average.
But for you, if you feel like I'm over-explaining things to you, stop me. It's not a big deal. But I just explained a first-degree felony is like one of the worst felonies you can get. You have a capital felony, life felony, first-degree felony. First-degree felony, you can serve 25 years, 30 years for a first-degree felony. Your secondary felonies and then third-degree felonies are like up to 5 years in prison, stuff like that. Not a huge deal. But your first-degree felonies is a pretty big whack. RICO, first-degree felony. All right, so you've got multiple first-degree felonies that we're charging you with.
Me?
Yes. Okay. This right.
Me, you got multiple first-degree felonies. One can send you away for all of your child's adulthood. You know, early teen, early adulthood. One can do that. You got multiple first-degree felonies. Me, man, you were in the car yourself. The hell?
Right here is just part of that, okay? You recognize what's going on here. I mean, this is all day long. This is all we do, right? Just gather, all right? So we're confident in our case. We're confident in the amount of evidence we've gathered. So at this point, what we do, and we're going to talk to Mr. Jock last because he's kind of the guy that we're going to spend the most time with. We're going to see what he has to say. I imagine he doesn't want you going to jail. I would imagine he doesn't want you going to prison. And you understand the difference between jail and prison? So the Orange County Jail is where you will go today, right? That's where you'll go. You'll get processed through.
Okay, so I'm talking because I got to narrate so you don't miss anything. So she knows she's going to jail at this point. So she knows she's being charged, okay, and she knows there are a lot of first-degree serious charges, and she was explaining that it could be 30 years each one or 10 years each one. Still adds up to a lot. But now he let her know you're not going home. After we get done talking to you, you're going to jail. And he's explaining the difference between jail and prison right now.
So the Orange County Jail is where you will go today, right? That's where you'll go. You'll get processed through. That's where you'll get your arraignment.
Now, I'm not salty either. I'm just saying, you know, if you make poor decisions, you got to live up to it. You got to own it. So the problem, the reason why I highlight that, because they're quick to they who choose like that, choose relationships like that. They are quick to say there are no good men. But meanwhile, they date the guys who are clearly no good. So that's why I highlight that. They'll say there's no good men. You mean there's no good criminals. That's what you really want to say. You really want to say there's no good criminals. So people like myself make that distinction for them. It's like, no. There's tons. There's a plethora of good, hardworking men. But you just want a good criminal. Can't find one.
Prison. So the Orange County Jail is where you will go today, right? That's where you'll go. You'll get processed through. That's where you'll get your arraignment. Arraignment is where they say, this is what you are being charged with. This is what your bond is. And, you know, you're going to see if you have counsel, if you have any of that stuff. They're just kind of a preliminary hearing about what's going on, right? And you'll wait at the Orange County Jail on that bond until you can get bonded out, or until you're released at some point, okay, until you have trial. Or you'll be held at the jail until you have trial. If you're going to plead not guilty to the charges, you'll sit at the Orange County Jail if you can't bond out on $1 million bond, which a lot of people can, unless you get it lowered. You'll sit there until you have trial. And in some cases, we have cases right now that we started in 2017, and they're still sitting at the Orange County Jail waiting on their trial because they couldn't bond out, right? I'm hoping that's not going to be the case with you. You have a 1-year-old that I imagine needs you. So Prison, so after like, let's say you wait, you go to court, and we have the trial, and you're found guilty on the charges. Then you would go to a Florida state prison. So the difference between Orange County Jail is kind of where you go to stay while you're waiting. Prison is where you go to live. That becomes your residence. That's like where you'll be living, is at the state prison. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. You don't have a criminal history. That really works in your favor. So you're not going to be looking at any kind of additional time sentencing because of the criminal history. So from here, what we do is we meet with everybody and we feel them out. Because at this point now, we're looking for people that want to tell the truth and want to deal with their charges and move on. And that means cooperation. You understand that?
Yeah.
So what we look at is, the first person that kind of comes to the table, because right now we have 10 people that we're arresting for this RICO, right? So we have you, we have TY, we have Jeff, we have a bunch of other people that I can't talk to you about right now because I don't believe they're in custody yet, so I can't tell you who they are. But these are all people we're going to talk to eventually and see if they want to talk to us. And the first person that kind of comes to the table and says, hey, I want to cooperate, they're going to get a bigger piece of the pie than the seventh person that comes to the table. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have more information that we're going to need sooner. So the next person that comes, they'll get a smaller piece of the pie, but they still get a piece of the pie. Third person, fourth person. By the time we get to the fifth, sixth person, we don't really need their information anymore. So they can just kind of piss off, and they can go to trial, they can plead guilty, they can plead not guilty, they can take a deal, whatever. We don't really care because we've already gotten what we needed, right? So that's kind of why we're going to you first, because you're Jeff's girlfriend. You have a reason not to be in jail. You definitely have a reason not to be in prison.
You think she has?
So we're going to see between you and Jeff what we want to talk about with cooperation.
Now, look at her posture. I have to point this out. I got to. That's why I went live. I want to show what I've seen. Her posture is like she's told 30 years, basically, minimum. Multiple first-degree charges. You're in a RICO. He explained.
So you understand what I mean by cooperation?
Yes, but you just tell the truth.
Tell the truth, but we're also looking for.
So just look at her behavior. Like, look how she's like unfazed. She got a 1-year-old. She's not in tears. She's not begging and pleading like how we see normal people do. She's cool. She got a confident stance. Like, all right, man, just hit me with your best shot, man. It's whatever. I'm about that.
Somebody to testify. That's where it gets a little tricky, right? Because nobody wants to testify against a loved one, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to testify against other criminals because sometimes that's scary to them or whatever. But at the end of the day, you have a better reason to cooperate and testify than they do. You understand what I'm saying? Like your kid, right? For me, I don't give a shit if I had to testify against Al Capone. If it's to make sure that I'm with my kid, then I'm going to do that. So that's kind of what you're looking at. All right. So how long have you known Jeff?
Known him for 2 years. We just got together 2 months ago. Been together for 2 months.
And that's enough for me to make him a baby daddy. I learned everything he showed me was he's a bum nigga. But you know what? That's what I deserve. If I can't get the rich, I want a bum nigga. I want the bottom. So as a result, you're gonna do some time.
2 or 3 months. We just got together in March.
In March? Okay. When did you guys move into Emerson together?
It's my apartment.
Okay.
I've been there probably, my lease is up to a year.
You've been there for a year?
Yeah.
Okay. When did he move in?
It's been 2 months. They moved April, after my birthday.
Had to be before April.
So either March or April. Okay. Just got together after my birthday.
So the lease is up there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's nothing there.
My stuff is still there.
Well, yeah, just so you know, we did a search warrant at that apartment today.
Okay.
We also did a search warrant at the shop today.
Okay.
We did a search warrant at Jeff's parents' house today. So I mean, we've been, obviously we know where everybody lives, know what everybody's doing. So we so when we ask questions, like a lot of the questions that we ask you, we already kind of know the answers to. And we're just kind of gauging to see how cooperative you are, how honest you're being, stuff like that. So we know that Jeff has been at that apartment for a little while at least, right? How long is that? When did you find out he was a weed trafficker?
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I dated him, I knew I did him because of that. I was looking for a trapper. Like I asked him what he do. He said he trap. I said, perfect. You single? And that's how the love started.
And how'd you find out?
I saw it.
You saw the weed?
Yeah.
How much weed?
Like a little bag.
Okay. But after that, like how much have you seen since then?
She got bigger.
That wasn't a little bag, mama. That's a big bag. Little bag is like personal use.
Okay. What's bigger?
Like this big.
Okay. But per bag.
Like the weed in the bag?
Like how much weed have you seen total?
A lot. I can't give you a number.
Okay. So how many trips to California have you made?
I made at least 5.
Okay.
Okay, damn. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the best, mama. They already got you. They don't. They know you're going because they stopped you, but it's quite possible they only know of one trip you made. You just confessed you did 5 trips. Okay, so good luck with that one.
And each time, what are you guys going to California for?
To get weed.
To get weed. And how much weed are you getting at a time in California?
So obviously they want the guy who's serving them. Obviously, that's what they want.
I
don't know anything about that.
Okay. So how many suitcases of weed are you guys bringing back at a time?
2, 3.
2 to 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys the only ones bringing the weed back in suitcases?
Yeah.
Just you and Jeff?
Ours, yeah. Well, it's not ours, his, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, is anybody else flying with you guys? Not like in the seat next to you, but like is anybody else on the same flight as you guys?
Most of the time, it's just us. Other times he'll have like other friends there, he'll have other people there, but majority of the time it's just
Okay. And I mean, break in if I'm
yeah.
So in these suitcases, what else is in the suitcases besides the weed?
Just weed.
Just weed. Okay.
For him. All I know about is him. Just
Okay.
weed. I just was introduced to the other friends and all that when we got together.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a baby for her. We had a 1-year-old, but we weren't together. He was already in his own situation. We just got together. We went.
So you guys had a kid, but
we weren't
together
when we had the kid. We weren't together after.
It happened.
We literally just claimed boyfriend and girlfriend in March.
Okay, all right. I'm sure that's good.
And don't forget, this is the other part when they're attracted to these financially security guys. A lot of them end up being single parents, and by being single parents, those children suffer. Now they are the most likely to do everything negative and go from school to prison. They're the most likely to do that. So it literally destroys the Black community and the Black family structure. So these decisions that are highly unbecoming destroys the Black community. These bad relationships destroy the Black community. Okay, it produces projects, all type of reckless behavior from the children because the single parent is most likely at work. Kids, the older they get, they can stay home now. So now they by themselves, being influenced by other kids with the same condition. And you got 10 kids with the same condition. Same condition now. There's some type of game.
For the kid though, I'm sure he likes having his dad around and stuff like that. So, When you guys go to California, where does Jeff get the weed from?
I don't know anything about that either.
You don't go
when
with him?
When we were in California, I stayed at the hotel.
Okay.
Get a hotel. If we're going to eat, we go eat. I don't know anything about who he does. Of course, I can hear him on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Hello?
Man, you're number 2 in line. You know a
Yes.
lot. If
Good, how are you?
if Tyrone Biggums know about it, man, I mean, you're above him. You know.
Yep, got it. I appreciate it.
We got your phone call.
All right.
Man.
Thank you. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
So when you're in California, when he does get the
You're not gonna
when he
cry?
does get the weed from wherever he gets it from in California, does he bring it back to the hotel room?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happens?
After that, it gets transported back to.
What happens in the hotel room though? Is it already in the vacuum sealed bags?
Yeah.
He doesn't vacuum seal them at the
He
hotel.
does.
Uh-oh,
Sometimes
no
he does. Sometimes he comes back and has to do it. Sometimes he just comes in and goes.
Okay. So when he does vacuum seal it, he vacuum seals it, and then what is the process after he vacuum seals it?
She
So
got
put it
nose
back in
did,
the
though.
suitcase.
Does he wipe the stuff down?
But yeah, wipe it, put it in the
What does he wipe the bags of weed with?
What
cleaner,
charges? What's that, destroying evidence?
vinegar.
Oh my God.
This is a Crime Circus
She is
presentation.
burying him.
That's it.
Okay.
You ain't gonna cry out? They say you got a 1-year-old.
Okay.
You're gonna do a lot of cleaning. Yeah,
And then he
You're going to
packages
jail
it.
today.
He packages it himself. Does anybody help him?
Yeah, he has help sometimes. Sometimes he'll do it himself.
Who would be helping him?
The people would already be in California. If some of the people like TY go, then he would help.
Tyrone
Okay.
Biggums.
Who else? Who else is in there with you guys?
I'm trying to think of it. Beth?
And that's a guy, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, ladies.
Yes. I don't know any of the
You know.
girls.
Okay.
I don't know any of the girls.
You ain't gonna cry out? They say you're not going home today. You got a 1-year-old.
But it would be girls.
What about any relatives of any Jeff's relatives?
Going with us? No.
No.
He's never had relatives going with us.
Uh-oh.
What about Max?
Max? Yeah. He's never been with us.
Is Max a relative?
Yeah. His brother.
His brother, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But he goes, right?
Yeah.
But he's never like in
Got him. Trying to lie. Look, they already said they know the story. They want you to tell it.
the hotel room with you guys, is what you're saying?
No. I've never been with Max ever.
So does Max help him out separately then? Like he has his own thing, like he goes out there, kind of just entrusts him to handle things.
Yeah, I believe I would be a great interrogator. Like I always said, if I could be a prosecutor or a detective, I'd be like undecided which one I would preferably be. But I think I would rather be a detective because I think they can talk to the suspects, but they do. They talk to the suspect directly. They can extract information. Prosecutors can't do that. They just embarrass you on cross-examination. And if that's not, if you're not going to take the stand, then it's like if they don't talk to you, they talk about you. So I think I would rather be a detective to extract information out of you.
If you will.
Max does his own thing.
Yeah.
But I would like to be a special interrogator. Like I wouldn't want to be like a cop who be in the field, you dig, dodging bullets. I would rather just be in the office and I'm getting called, hey, Ron, we got somebody. And they give me the files and I read up on your charges and everything, your role. And then they say, okay, I need you to break this person. I would like to be that guy. I come into the room, hey, what's going on? That's what I mean. I don't want to be dodging bullets like these guys, dressing up in masks because your life is at risk.
Like how so? Like what do you mean?
Like the same thing Jeff does.
Yeah.
Max does it.
Okay. So he goes out, do they use the same contact out there?
I'm not sure. I'm just now getting into the family. I'm just now knowing who the friends are.
Yeah.
Before we just had baby mama, baby father relationship.
Sure.
But now because we're boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm just now getting introduced to everybody.
So,
Now, of course, I know Max because he would pick my son up from school, bring him to me, but I'm just not being introduced to a lot of other people.
I knew she was so involved. I knew she was. I knew she was so involved. She was not there to take care of that 1-year-old. This is why she's so, in my opinion, this is why she's so detached from the 1-year-old. It's just a baby she take care of here and there. But when she's taking flight, driving back those Californias where she lives at, Florida trips, I know that's a long drive. So they always not home. Somebody always raising a kid. This is why I believe she's not crying and, oh, my kid. She's already detached from her criminal lifestyle.
I just learned his name was Tyrone.
His name was DY?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how you laugh at that. Like,
because I already knew. I heard Sovereign and I already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're laughing. You laugh before you cry. That's wild.
Is he always talking about that? He's got to be obnoxious. Like he makes us irritated.
It's not really irritating because it's funny, but I already
know who that
what
is?
you were talking about. This is Beth.
Okay. Man, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull up some names. Okay. How often do you think Max goes out there too? Same amount of times as Jeff, maybe more.
No. I would say once.
Yeah.
Once or twice every month, once or twice every 2 months.
Does he use the same girls that Jeff uses?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. When I used to go, I would just take money. I wasn't responsible for anything else.
Yeah.
And this is when we first initially, before I even had my son, when I got pregnant.
Yeah.
So that is Tootie.
Oh, so you was trapping before the that sneeze. So you were trapping before you were pregnant. Oh, so the baby was like a hindrance. Oh boy, I can't take these trips. I can't get this shmoney.
What's her name?
Tootie.
Tootie?
Yeah.
And what is she? How do you know her?
Before me and Jeff got together, he was dealing with her.
Like dealing with her as a girlfriend? Or
Like, they used to talk. So it wasn't like a title, but they used to talk.
Okay.
They were dating.
Okay. Does she do anything with you guys as far as California?
We don't even see
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I understand that. But I mean, do you know if she's gone out there since you guys have been dating to get weed?
No.
She has not?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she has though.
Okay.
And you were asking me a question?
Yeah, we were talking about Max once he was out there, but have you seen Max ever do his process too, or you just
No, never.
Just Jeff talking about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
never, ever.
How many times has our Native American friend gone out there with him?
I have no idea about him. I think he's only gone with us to Atlanta for a show, because he's Jeff's manager, so he doesn't really go anywhere.
But you said he went to California.
Yeah, I've seen him one time.
And he went there to help get the weed?
He was just there. He helped package. He was just there.
Okay. And when TY is here, does he help Jeff with any of the weed stuff here?
Not at all. When he's here, he's Jeff's manager.
Okay.
He's doing music. I don't know.
Okay. I'm just going to pull up random people.
Okay.
So does Jeff entrust TY with the money too? Like, he moves money around a little bit for him?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He might, but I don't
Okay.
think so.
What other, don't fucking drop blanks on names. What's the other one that Mary didn't want to do? Hold on. And I appreciate you being cooperative. I am going to call. Like, we have a prosecutor that has been a part of this case since we started. We're in a unit where we kind of pitch an investigation to a prosecutor before we get started. That way, they're a part of the investigation the entire time, which is kind of helpful because when that prosecutor goes to court, she knows the entire case already. She doesn't have to, read. She doesn't have to start reading this now. She's already read it all, right? So I'm going to call her when we're done with today, and I'm like, hey, listen, this is kind of where we're at. This was cooperative. This is Jock, and I imagine he's going to be. If it was me, I don't know Jock personally, obviously, but if it was me, I would be okay with the mother of my child not going to prison for the shit that I do. You know what I'm saying?
Your phone talking?
It's just a little chime that goes off. So, having said that, I feel like your odds here will be much better than anybody else's. So with the prosecutor, we'll also go, let's say you want a bond reduction. Obviously, you don't want to pay $1 million bond, and you don't even want to pay $100,000 surety to get bail, right? I mean, that's a lot of money to get out on a bond. So in cases like this, what can happen is we can go with the prosecutor and be like, hey, Ms. Williams, very cooperative. I think she's going to want to talk to us. She may end up testifying in this case to help herself out, not have to go to prison. So can we lower her bond? Or will you not object if her defense says we'd like her bond lowered to $10,000, $20,000, whatever it is, so that you can make bail and get out of jail? All right, does that make sense to you? I got no problem with that. Super cooperative, polite. Been actually a pleasure to talk to you. Usually it's not.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Am I able to ask you questions?
Yes.
So you guys put like cameras up there at my house?
We do.
Are you serious? So when you was gonna ask the question, I'm thinking when I first watched this, I thought the question would be, so can I see my 1-year-old before I go to jail, please? She cares about the evidence that's stacked against her. Like, this is just sad SKREETS stuff, man. This is sad.
Questions?
It's definitely a pleasure to talk to you. Usually it's not.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Am I able to ask you questions?
Yes.
So you guys put like cameras up there at my house?
We do all kinds of weird stuff, but we do everything with a court order. A judge signs off on it and says, yes, you can do this because all the things that we do are an intrusion of privacy. But when we identify crimes taking place that are serious enough to warrant asking a judge to do those, to let us do those things, the judges are usually pretty reasonable and let us do it. So we make a lot of intrusive investigations, and you're going to find out when you get your discovery how intrusive we were. Discovery means that we're going to give your defense attorney all of our evidence.
Am I able to see this?
Not right now, you're not.
Okay.
This is Shield.
Okay.
I can kind of wade through it, and you can see, just all the different stuff we got going on there. I'm
Who's
sure.
that? Never mind, can't talk.
You know who that is. You've never seen him before?
I just didn't get a good glimpse. That's all I was asking who's that.
So, like I said, with a case this big, there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people in here that have nothing to do with you, that you have nothing to do with, that are involved in racketeering, RICOs, that you're not being charged with. So there's going to be a lot in here that you're not being charged with, okay? But there's a lot in here that you are.
But it has to do with this?
Yes.
And you're not able to tell me that?
Yeah, I can tell you what it has to do with. It has to do with, it started out with like how this investigation kind of, yeah, you want to show it to her?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay, fair enough. This
Are these
investigation,
people in jail?
they will be probably pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're not already. We have our fugitive apprehension unit guys going out
U.S. Marshals?
looking for them now. So we just knew where you guys were. So that's why we picked you up first. So this kind of started in October 2020.
Remember those cameras we talked about? Yeah, they let us know you were home, so we just came and got you guys.
We basically had a lot of different agencies come to us and say, hey, we have a massive gang problem going on in Orlando. And not only are gang members being killed, but innocent people are being killed that have nothing to do with the gangs whatsoever. In one incident, a 3-year-old was shot and killed in a house. Is he still here? No, he can't be because the warrant was called in. That's not Jeff, is it?
They told me he was arrested in Osceola, or he went to Osceola.
No, he's here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in a couple rooms now. So in any case, we had a 3-year-old that was killed. We had a 14-year-old that was killed. They have nothing to do with gangs whatsoever. And we had one guy was going to a daycare off of Pine Hills and to pick up his, I think, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And the daycare was shot up. They were trying to shoot him. He's a gang member, but his kids legitimately go to daycare there, and they shot up the whole daycare in broad daylight.
When was this?
That must have been
Was that September?
Yeah, it was September.
Yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been crazy. So in any case, our kind of
That has to do with us?
it has to do with this investigation. So what happens is we identify the federal agencies, FBI, ATF, Homeland Security, Orlando Police Department, Orange County Sheriff's Office all came together and said, hey, we've got a massive problem in Orlando. We have these two gangs that are fighting it out, and people are getting caught in the crosshairs. And it's a giant mess. What are we going to do? So we started this investigation to kind of combat that problem. And what ends up happening is we start picking up on stuff going on everywhere. So we have the 438 gang. Have you ever heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we have the Army or AFNF or the sex money murder gang. You ever heard of them?
AFNF.
AFNF. Okay, so that's the other side, right? So you have 438 and AFNF that are shooting each other back and forth for months and months and months and killing people. So your boyfriend is documented as a 438 gang member.
Really?
Yes. His buddy, Massey, who's fucking.
Massey.
I'm sure I don't. Have you ever talked to him?
Not talk, but I know.
Oh God, he is obnoxious. But he is. I don't know how. Jock is he's a good friend for listening to him. Oh, that voice is horrible, right? It is so hard to listen to. But Jock's he's a good guy for being a friend to him and listening to those horrible whiny jail calls that he's always getting from him. Massey, documented 438 gang member. Do I think that Jock is like a gangbanger? I don't. I do think that he fucking has guns and he fucks with guns. I've seen, I hate to say it, all these guys are just idiots on Instagram. They put all their business up there. Your boyfriend sells dope on Instagram. Like, hey, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Dope is weed? Right?
Weed, yeah. Okay. He sells weed. He sells weed on Instagram. I call everything.
Yeah.
If it's narcotics, I call it dope. So, in any case, you can't make a spectacle of yourself and expect us not to catch on. So, in any case, the 438 gang members, which your boyfriend is a documented member of, even though he's not actively involved in that lifestyle anymore, at least that we know of, we caught on to him. You know what I'm saying? We caught on to a ton of 438 guys. We caught on to a ton of AFNF guys. And that is the giant mess that we have here, right? You are this much of it. Okay? I'm just saying, like, throughout the whole thing.
Throughout this whole thing?
Yes, you are in there a lot. Just because, like, throughout the whole thing.
Throughout this whole thing?
Yes, you are in there a lot. Just because of your association to Jeff.
Whole thing?
Right? You are this much of it. Okay? I'm just saying, like, throughout the whole thing.
Throughout this whole thing?
Yes, you are in there.
You didn't play a minute role, you fool. You acting innocent, you stupid. We just told you we had cameras at your house. We probably tapped your phone. Why are you acting stupid?
A lot. Just because of your association to Jeff. And I'm not saying like you're this horrible person, but your boyfriend is a prolific weed dealer.
Right, and you're the trap queen. You know, you on Instagram talking that talk.
He's one of Orlando's biggest weed dealers. And we don't think weed's a big deal, man. Nobody's overdosing on weed. Nobody gives a shit about weed. But here's the thing, man.
That's not what it does.
If you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, you got to pay your taxes. You have to
Tax evasion, oh shit.
You have to add to society. You have to be a productive member of society. Okay? Don't flaunt your camo wrapped Corvette and your brand new, Trackhawk Jeep that costs $110,000.
But you got
Now listen to this rat. Listen to this rat. This is why she's all in to this game. She don't give a damn about her kid. Listen what she gonna say.
You know how he got that Jeep?
Yeah.
Because someone crashed his car.
Why not? T.Y. crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, T.Y. crashed his Jeep. But how did he get his Corvette?
He paid for it.
Okay, how did he pay for it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's laughing and playing around. I don't know, the drug money.
Yeah, he paid with it with money that he made selling weed. And I know that he's a rapper, okay? I know he doesn't make any money rapping. I know this. All right. TY fucking tried that fucking bullshit with me. That shit is nonsense. Jeff doesn't. I'm not saying Jeff's not a good rapper. I'm saying he ain't at that point where he's making that much money rapping. You need to use the bathroom? We need a female to go with you. Okay, so
She has to come in the bathroom with me?
they have to be at least
area. He lived off the Lee Road for a little while in an apartment over there. How it used to be, kind of.
I don't know. I definitely remember him getting shot in the head, though.
Enemies. Yeah. Did he ever tell stories about how it used to be, kind of in that lifestyle? Because obviously he got shot at, so he's obviously made some enemies over the years. You think that's just over weed?
I don't know. I don't know. I definitely remember him getting shot in the head, though, because I remember seeing it on Facebook. I called to check on him. I was pregnant. I think I was pregnant at that time, at least a month.
Yeah.
No, I got pregnant in December. He said that happened in November.
I think it was November 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I had my baby in December 2019.
2019?
Yeah.
Did it happen like a month before that? Really? Yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, some change.
It has to happen.
This is a clown circus.
You dig?